Colts offensive coordinator Nick Sirianni talked to reporters yesterday virtually and spoke about the signing of Phillip Rivers, potential Hall of Fame quarterback by the Indianapolis Colts. The big part of Phillip being here is Anthony Costanzo, Quentin Nelson, Ryan Kelly, Braden Smith, Mark Lewinsky. Those guys are studs. That's something that he just kept mentioning after we signed him, of how valuable those guys were to him. So here's the question. Who gets the bigger upgrade between Phillip Rivers and Tom Brady? Rivers with the offensive line, or Brady with the enhanced weapons of Mike Evans and Chris Godwin and O.J. Howard and Cameron Brate and, oh, by the way, Rob Gronkowski? Who's got the bigger upgrade between the two, Chris?
I guess at first look, if I was a quarterback, I would be more excited about what you see in Tampa. I would be going, oh my gosh, Mike Evans and Chris Godwin and this offense and, of course, the addition of Gronk. But I think if you really let me sit there and think about it and then went, oh, okay, all right, let me measure this. Okay, yeah, they have that, but the offensive line is really below average in NFL standards. And then, okay, the Colts have some good weapons, maybe not as good as the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but good, but then have a great O-line. I'd rather probably be in Phillip Rivers' situation. I would. One, I just think, they take a little pressure off you with protecting you, of course, but also take pressure off of you because of the run game. And that's where the Colts can be special that way, let alone I think they got some young talent kind of coming up the ranks at the receiver position that can make them dangerous. It's a close one. But I think all in all, hey, games are won up front, and I'd rather be Phillip Rivers in his scenario.
I agree with you, especially as you are older and you need to have that blocking. And we've seen time and again the way you derail Tom Brady, pressure right up the middle. That offensive line in Tampa Bay, not as good as the offensive line of the Indianapolis Colts. And look, there was suggestions that Brady was interested in the Colts. The Colts didn't reciprocate. I think at a certain level, the Colts we're concerned about another Josh McDaniels scenario where you flirt with Tom Brady, you work something out with Tom Brady, there's winking, there's nodding, there's a verbal understanding, and the next thing you know, Tom Brady stays with the Patriots. I mean, they're not going to put their hand on that hot stove again, Chris. I really do think that was a factor because between the two guys, Rivers, Brady, both making $25 million this year, it's a no-brainer. Brady's the guy you want.
Definitely. There's no doubt about that. But I don't think it's like by a long shot. I don't. I think this is where it's going to really help Phillip Rivers out. Again, the Chargers offensive line, especially when it comes to pass protecting, he's been one of the worst in football the last 2 years. So I think if we were going to give Phillip Rivers like some sort of break as far as his play is concerned, man, he was under duress a lot. He really was. So, yeah, I mean, for older type quarterbacks, I think you are better served to have that pass protection and that part of it. Also, with the Indianapolis Colts, of course, the familiarity and just knowing you're going to have a guy that can come in and especially in a year like this, it's going to work out where, hey, Phillip Rivers knows the system. He knows this offense. They're not going to be totally worried about him like starting from zero here and trying to catch up and figure it out and do it all part of Zoom meetings. So there's a base knowledge there that I think gives them a big head start too.
Yeah, look, it's going to be interesting to see what these two guys do, especially if Tom Brady is repeatedly harassed and hit and knocked around and Phillip Rivers has a clean pocket all the time. There's going to be some people who say maybe Tom Brady should have done a little bit more to get the Colts interested in him, Chris.
Well, maybe. Here's a question I got for you. Like, why did either of these teams have to pay either one of these guys $25 million, or Drew Brees $25 million? They all wanted to play. They all wanted to come back. I understand, I know your argument. You're going to say, hey, it's important to come into a locker room.
Bookie's got to drive the Cadillac. That's why.
I guess so. But, I mean, geez, everybody knows that you're the man already at Brady and Brees and Phillip Rivers. This is, to me, where just the quarterback market's going insane. I mean, hey, I love Dak Prescott. He's about to be the highest paid quarterback or highest paid player in the history of the NFL. That doesn't make sense. And then, hey, we're just going to play old quarterbacks who are desperate to play and they want to play so badly. But, hey, here's $25 million. I just don't understand. Sometimes I just don't understand what teams are doing. I just want to be like, you could have paid him 16 and he would have played. They want to play. There's legacy things and implications here.
Especially Phillip Rivers, because I don't think he
Definitely
had any other
him.
options.
Right.
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 It was the Colts or nothing, or backup for Phillip Rivers.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.